Hey, fourth grade, Miss Neisler here. I'm going to go over the pages in our reading workbook, pages 473 today, and 472 and 473. So hopefully you've already reached that point, and this can just be a checking ground for you. If not, okay, then just bear with me and we're going to go over it. All right, so this week we were talking about prepositional phrases. Well, I know that we have done this a lot in class. We've talked about prepositions. So let's just do a quick review. Prepositions are words that show a relationship between a noun or pronoun and another word. So, for example, the book sat on the shelf. Well, we know that on is my preposition, and it's telling where the book was in relation to the shelf. So the preposition on tells us about the relationship between the book and the shelf. Where did it go? Prepositional phrases. There are 3 different types of prepositional phrases. So they can tell us the time, after, at, before, by, during, in, from, on, past, since, through, until, and upon. It can also tell us a place: above, at, behind, below, beside, between, by, in, inside, near, on, over, through, and under. And then it can lastly tell us movement. And there's actually some other things, but right now this is what we're talking about. It can tell us movement: across, around, down, from, into, off, onto, out of, to, toward, up, upon, and with. So prepositional phrases begin with the preposition, and those are the words that we just talked about. Those are all different examples of prepositions. So each prepositional phrase begins with a preposition, and it contains the object. Well, we know that an object is a noun: person, place, or thing. So in this example, the book sat on the shelf. On is my preposition. On the shelf would be my prepositional phrase because it's telling me where the book is located. Prepositional phrases act like adjectives or adverbs. They tell when, where, and which. So basically it's telling you about a noun or a verb. So the prepositional phrase is acting like an adverb. It's telling you where the book sat. And then on this one, I read the book on the shelf. It's telling you which book that you read. It's acting like an adjective and telling you which book was read, the book that was on the shelf. Okay, so let's look at our workbook page. Let's see if I can get myself. There we are. Okay, so this is the page that I hope that you've already completed at this point in the week. If not, like I said, don't worry. Just follow along with me. You can do it now. Okay, so let's look at the top. A prepositional phrase, and this is just what I've already said, can describe a noun or a verb. It sometimes describes by telling how, when, where, or what kind. Mika and Lily went outside after lunch. We know that after lunch is my prepositional phrase, and it tells when they went. They sat under the oak tree. Under the oak tree would be my prepositional phrase, and it's telling where they sat. It was a good spot for a treehouse. So for a treehouse would be my prepositional phrase, and it's telling what kind of spot. Lily showed Mika a book about tree houses, and that is telling me about tree houses, what kind of book. And the last one is they could build a house by themselves. By themselves would be my prepositional phrase, and it's telling how they could build it. So before we move on to the guided practice, let's look at our hint. A prepositional phrase can come at the beginning, middle, or end of a sentence. Underline each prepositional phrase and then circle the preposition. Then finish the last two sentences by adding a prepositional phrase. Okay, let me pull up my Active Inspire so I can write on my page. Okay. Let's look at number 1. And what I like to do, I like to identify the preposition first. To me, it's just kind of easier, and then I can locate the prepositional phrase after that. The tall oak tree was behind the house. Well, remember we talked about that a prepositional phrase can describe a noun or verb, and it tells how, when, where, or what kind. So we've got the tall oak tree. Well, what about the tall oak tree? We know it was where it was, and it was behind. Ooh, that's sloppy. Behind the house. I'm going to redo that because that's really sloppy. Behind the house. So behind is my preposition, and behind the house would be my prepositional phrase, and that's a prepositional phrase that's telling me where. Number 2, Mika and Lily would build their tree house in its branches. We know that in is sloppy again. In is a preposition. So it would be in its branches. Because remember, in the PowerPoint that I just read, that it has to include a preposition and then the object. So in this sentence, the preposition is in, and then branches would be the object. In its branches. And so that would be where we would build the treehouse. During dinner, they discussed different ideas. During is my preposition. During dinner would be my prepositional phrase. So these two are at the end of the sentence. This one's at the beginning. And this one is telling me when they would discuss the different ideas. Number 4, should we draw our plans after school? Mika asked. Okay, so after tells me when. And when are they doing it? After school. Their dad could buy wood and nails. So this is one that we had to make up our own. Clearly these prepositional phrases are coming at the end of a sentence. So their dad could buy nails. I'm going to have to do the text, so my handwriting's not that sloppy. Hang on, let me move this. Okay, here we go. Their dad could buy wood and nails for the project. It's already got the period there. So for would be my preposition, and for the project would be the prepositional phrase. Put another one right here. Mika and Lily decided to start building on a Saturday. We've already got my period at the end of the sentence. So on would be my prepositional phrase, and on would be my preposition. On a Saturday would be my prepositional phrase. Let's see if I can get out of this. There we go. So I'm going to go circle those real quick because it wanted us to circle the preposition and underline the prepositional phrase. So we need to make sure that we did that for these. Okay, and I know those of you that have already gone ahead and done your sentences and done these pages, remember you're just checking your answers. So more than likely you're not going to have the same sentences as me. But those of you that are doing it with us, you can either write these or you can come up with your own. I'm going to go ahead and clear this so we can move to the next page. Okay, so this was the independent practice. All right, number 1. There we are. Okay, number 1. The girls, actually, let's go back and look at the directions. For numbers 1 and 3, identify the prepositional phrase in each. So it's not asking us to circle the preposition and underline the prepositional phrase. We're just simply looking for the prepositional phrase. So number 1, the girls used solid wood planks for the treehouse. Well, I know that for is a preposition. So remember, for a prepositional phrase, you have to include the preposition and the object. So it would be for the treehouse floor, which would be letter D. Number 2, Lily made a small window in one wall. I know in is a preposition telling when, not when, excuse me, telling where, and in one wall. So that it would be C. Number 3, Mika puts curtains over the window. Over. And this isn't anything that you have to do in this part. You don't have to circle the preposition and underline the prepositional phrase. I'm just doing that so you can see what I'm doing as we're doing it. Mika put curtains over the window. Over is my preposition, and where, it's over the window. So that would be letter A. And number 4 and 5, what does the underlined prepositional phrase tell us? Mika and Lily hung a members only sign on the door. So let's look at A. When they hung the sign. Does on the door tell me when, where, what kind, or how? And on, I believe, would tell me where it's at. And then the last one. Then the girls had a discussion about safety rules. So, about safety rules is my prepositional phrase. So we've got to figure out what kind of prepositional phrase is it. Is it telling me what kind of discussion, when the discussion took place, where the discussion took place, or how the discussion started? And it would be what kind of discussion they were having. So I hope this helps. And tomorrow I'm going to go ahead and do page 274 and 275 about complete sentences and fragments. I hope that y'all have a great night, great afternoon, and I will see y'all later.